I'm the Lonely Necron and welcome to my basement. So today we're going to be doing an experiment in my series, Are My Necrons Overpowered? I have a feeling that they are overpowered, but we're going to try and find out anyway. This is the first big-ass terrain piece that I ever made for my cemetery setup. I have plans to do more of them, but for right now, I only have this one. So this is the board that we'll be playing on today. One side will start on that side, the other group will start over here. And we'll show you guys the armies that we'll be playing today. Okay, so this is pretty much the entirety of my Night Lord's force, minus a couple of models. It's led by a Chaos Lord. He also has a Sorcerer, a Master of Executions, and a Master of Possessions. A 10-man group of Space Marines with a Flamer for the special weapon. Another 10-man group with a Heavy Bolter and a Las Cannon. No, that's an autocannon, sorry. And then an 8-man group with a Plasma Gun. 2 single Obliterators that are hanging out in Deep Strike. A Venom Crawler, a Helldrake, 2 Greater Possessed. 3 Bikers, a Rhino, and a Chaos Desecrator. So the 4 HQs and the 2 Greater Possessed are going to be in the Rhino. So we've got all of this facing off against a couple of Necrons. So for the Necron side, we're just going to go with a Monolith, a Shard of the Void Dragon, and the Silent King. So the Silent King has these menhirs, so whenever he takes damage, you can allocate the wounds to a menhir instead. So it'll probably take a while to kill him. The Void Dragon tends to eat chaos for breakfast. And the Monolith. So every turn, after the first turn, the Monolith is going to be spitting out 5 Immortals. I have a lot of Immortals, I'm just not going to pull them all out right now. I don't know how long the Monolith's going to last, so I don't know how many Immortals are actually going to survive, but I got 34 in this tray here, so that should be enough. So yeah, these main Necron guys here, some Immortals probably, against all of these Night Lords. I try to occasionally do before game predictions, so I'm going to bet that the Catan Shard is going to destroy the Chaos Knight. I'm going to bet the Monolith gets destroyed, and I'm going to bet that ultimately Necrons are going to win. So those are my predictions for this game, and we'll see how it goes. I'll set it up, I'll start deployment, and we can play the happiness. The Necrons won the roll-off, so they chose this side. They're hardly ever on this side. Monolith, Silent King, Catan over there on the far left side. Stage left, really. And over here we have the Night Lords. Got the Bikers and the Command Rhino, Venom Crawler all in front. And then all of the Space Marines in the back. The Heavy Bolter, Autocannon, Flamer, and then the small 8-man with the Plasma Gun. Helldrake in the corner, and then the Knight in the middle there. But yeah, they failed to steal, so we'll start with Necron turn 1. Movement. So all of these guys just advanced forward. They all got really crappy advance rolls. Moved up on the hill here. Silent King didn't get very far at all, and the Catan Shard just kind of flittered down to the next level. Nobody's close enough to shoot. Definitely not close enough for Catan power, so that makes it the Night Lord's turn. So all of the infantry advanced, and all of the vehicles just moved forward. Like the Necrons, nobody's really in range. The Chaos Knight's the only one that can shoot. He's definitely going to shoot. The Night Desecrator most definitely shot at the Catan Shard of the Void Dragon over here. He wounded him, he did 4 points of damage, but since he's a Catan shard, he can only take 3 points of damage per phase, so he took 3 points of damage. Same as the necrons also, no one's close enough to charge, so back to necrons for movement. And living metal, yay! So the Catan shard regained a wound from the living metal. Both the Catan shard and Silent King advanced forward, got kind of far. The Monolith dumped out 5 Immortals, Tesla Carbines, and then moved forward his 8. And yeah. Shooting phase. So I'm going to let this be a lesson to myself to check my measurements before, because the Monolith and the Silent King are both 2 inches short of shooting. Which also means they're way, way out of range of charging, so I guess they're once again just moving this turn. So we'll go back to the Night Lords for their turn. Movement. Okay, so the bikers moved way, way up here, as did the Rhino. All of the Space Marine guys advanced forward. The Venom Crawler is going to hang out. The Knight just moved up a little bit, like a foot. Oh yeah, the Helldrake. The Helldrake has flown way over here and is definitely going to try and do something naughty to the Void Dragon. And 2 Obliterators dropped in at the back of the table here to start taking shots on the Silent King and these Immortals. Still not close enough for Psychics, so Night Lord shooting phase. So normally the Helldrake does better than this. I mean, he has his weapon auto hits, but he just failed to wound on all of his auto hits. The Knight missed the Catan. The Venom Crawler failed to wound the Catan. None of these guys, the Space Marines or the Rhino, were really in range. The bikers attacked the Monolith and didn't do anything. So the Obliterator on the back area there, the one that doesn't have a brown base, did 2 points of damage to Zarek, but he transferred that wound thing over to one of his men here, so one of these little pillar things has 3 wounds now. And then the other Obliterator killed 2 of these Immortals. Charge phase. The Helldrake is absolutely going to charge into the Catan. The Helldrake was successful in charging into the Void Dragon shard. Didn't kill it, didn't do the max damage it could do it, but then the shard was unable to kill the Helldrake in return, so this might be a good melee fight to last a little while. That'll take us over to the Necron turn. Movement. The Catan shard and the Triarchal men here both regained health. The Void Dragon's just going to stay in combat with the Helldrake. The Silent King hopped up here by the fountain. The Monolith spit out 5 Immortals with Tesla Carbines, and then moved up here on this hill. And the remaining Immortals from the first grouping have just moved over here to the edge, so they can take shots at the Obliterators. Definitely in range for a Catan power. So both of his Catan powers went off. His Voltaic Storm did 2 points of damage, and then his Antimatter Meteor did another 3. So the Helldrake is definitely hurting. Shooting phase for the Necrons. That was a crazy shooting phase. So these Immortals here completely destroyed the bikers that were over here. The Particle Whip off of the Monolith did 6 points of damage to the Rhino, bringing it down to 1 health. Both of these Triarchal Menhirs shot at the Chaos Knight, and only one of them did the 6 damage to it. Yeah, that was crazy. And then the Silent King himself killed 4 Space Marines out of this squad. No charging, but That Catan shard's still fighting with that Helldrake over there, so we'll deal with that. So the Catan shard pretty much eviscerated the Helldrake with his Spear of the Void Dragon. And the Helldrake did not explode. So yeah, that'll take us back to the Night Lords movement. So these obliterators have moved up just to keep the Silent King in range. The Rhino dropped off the command group and its greater possessed bodyguards, and is going to probably do some sort of weird suicidal run against the Monolith here. All of the Chaos Space Marines just advance forward. Venom Crawler's just going to hang out there for probably another round. And the Chaos Knight is moving up towards the Catan Shard. Psychic phase, I see some smiting. The Sorcerer and Master of Possession, between the two of them, smote one of these triarchal menhirs until it was dead. So that's kind of sad. So then Night Lord shooting. So the furthest away Obliterator didn't get any wounds on the Silent King, but the closer Obliterator killed the 3 Immortals that were standing over here. The Knight only did a couple of points of damage. He did the maximum 3 points of damage to the Catan Shard. And the Venom Crawler's Excruciator Cannon thingy did a couple of points of damage to this other Triarchal Menhir. I'm not going to try and charge with the Knight, kind of far away for that, so I'm going to make it a Necron turn. And movement. The Catan Shard and the wounded Menhir both regain a lost wound. These Immortals have just come around the corner here so they can take on the Obliterators. The Monolith popped out 5 more Immortals and then descended down to the ground. The Silent King has moved up to the edge of the hill here. And the Void Dragon has moved way, way, way up close to this Chaos Knight. Yeah, so we're going to do his Catan powers. So the Shard of the Void Dragon did Voltaic Storm and Antimatter Meteor, both on the Chaos Knight. Between the two, he did 6 points of damage, putting it down to the middle bracket. Yeah, that was fun. Good time. It takes us to my favorite phase, the Necron shooting phase. So these Immortals failed to wound on these Obliterators. These Immortals, however, killed a whole crap ton of the group that was over here. And then the Monolith killed off that group, finished off the leader from that group, killed off 3 or 4 of these guys, and then killed the Rhino with its particle whip. It definitely put in some work this round. The Silent King killed 1 or 2 of these far Space Marines. Triarchal Menhir did a whole lot of damage to the Venom Crawler. And the Catan Shard did another 6 points of damage to the Chaos Knight. It's really hurting now. So charge phase, yeah, we're going to go ahead and charge the Catan into the Chaos Knight. What could go wrong? Yeah, so for the second time that I can recall on my channel, the Void Dragon has killed the Chaos Knight. That thing just really does mess things up. Yeah, that's the end of the Necron turn, so yeah, we'll go to the Remnants of Chaos. They looked a lot better last round. There certainly were more of them on the board. Another way, Night Lord's movement turn. The Obliterators, back there on the far back deep Necron deployment, just moved forward there 4 inches to, I guess, start taking out the Immortals from the back. The command group has all split up. The Chaos Lord and one of the Greater Possessed are up on this hill, probably about to charge the Silent King. Psyker's still are on the ground, and then another Greater Possessed and the Master of Executions is for some reason coming towards the Monolith. Two remaining squads of Space Marines have just moved up to get closer to the Catan Shard, and the Venom Crawler is probably the only one doing anything sensible if it's just staying there. I wouldn't want to get closer to the necrons at this point. Those things are big and scary. Yeah, so we'll do a Psychic phase for these guys. The Master of Possessions did the bad perils, took a point of damage. And then the Sorcerer got his smite off, but the Silent King denied it, because he can do that once. Every phase, I think. He can deny one-tenth when he's close enough. And he did. So yay. Which will take us to a greatly diminished Night Lord shooting phase. So the two remaining squads of Chaos Space Marines pumped everything they had into the Catan Shard and did 1 point of damage. Everybody in the command group that had a pistol pretty much shot it either the Silent King or the Monolith and missed completely. And both of these Obliterators shot at these Immortals and managed to kill one of them. Better than nothing. So the charge phase. It's going to be a slightly nutty phase. So the Greater Possessed and the Master of Executions are both going to charge into the Monolith. And the Chaos Lord and Greater Possessed are both going to charge into the Silent King. And at least one of those squads of Space Marines is going to charge into the Catan Shard. Maybe both. We'll see. So on the plus side, everybody that charged made their charge. On the negative side, everybody that charged also died. The Monolith definitely killed the Greater Possessed and the Master of Executions. Did some damage to the Greater Possessed in Overwatch. The Greater Possessed over here took a little bit of damage in Overwatch, and then Zark just kind of killed him. Like, oh, how's it going? You're dead. So I decided to go with the smaller group of Space Marines, because I didn't think I could get both groups to fit in there. But, yeah, he just went ahead and killed that group too. So, yeah, that makes it the Necron turn. The Catan Shard's just going to hang out there. Silent King moved off of the hill and is now looking at the Psykers over here. The Monolith spit out 5 more Immortals with Tesla Carbines, and then moved back up on top of this hill. These Immortals are just staying where they are. These guys just moved over so they can also shoot at the Obliterators. So, Catan powers. The Catan Shard successfully got off Voltaic Storm and Antimatter Meteor on this squad of Space Marines in front of him, killing 6 of them. That was awesome. The happy phase, the Necron shooting phase. So all of these Immortals managed to kill off one of these Obliterators, and then the Monolith used its Particle Whip and killed the other Obliterator. These Immortals did a bunch of damage to the Sorcerer, and then the Silent King, his men here, killed off the Venom Crawler, and he himself killed off the Master of Possessions. Which leaves us with the charge phase. So the Catan Shard is absolutely going to charge into these Chaos Space Marines. And the Silent King is absolutely going to charge into the Sorcerer. So yeah, abracadabra, it's like a magic trick. There were Night Lords here, but there are no longer Night Lords here. The Silent King made his charge and, I don't know, desecrated the soul of that guy, the Sorcerer. And the Catan Shard definitely just ate those 2 remaining Chaos Space Marines. So yeah, the Necron giant group thing here, you know, wins the day. That was surprising. I figured they'd do really well. I didn't think they'd win. That was super crazy. If you made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. Probably more than any of you will ever know. Yeah. This was a fun one. Like I said, I didn't expect them to win. I figured they'd do decent. I was pretty sure that the Catan chart at least was going to kill the Chaos Knight, which it did. Maybe someday the Chaos Knight can get a friend and they can double team the Catan. I don't know. Either way, thanks again for watching, and have a good whatever time of day it is, wherever you happen to be. And a happy day to you.